Another episode of Good Dawning with me and my wild hair. My name's Josh, Mr. Floyd, and welcome to those who might be new. If you are new here, grateful. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell. I never ask for that either. So much love and favor to everybody here. Let's see. We'll go backwards in the chat here. All right. Thank you, Millie. I appreciate that. All right. So, yeah, if you want a one-on-one session, you can see below. You can send me an email. We are open for business. All right. Big Dad Neil, welcome. Bed, Bacon, Bits. Bacon, 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 bacon. All right. Nathan, good dawning. Seeker of Truth, Shelley. And Tina, good dawning as well. And welcome to Helene. Nice to see you. Yolanda. Welcome. All right. Rooted Willow, she'll be live tonight. I believe she's going live tonight. It's 8 o'clock Eastern time. That's 6 p.m. my time. So Rooted Willow will be back live as she's been with family, dealing with her family, and so she's coming back. It's like interesting to watch her come back online. It's really kind of awesome to. Yeah, so she's been in hibernation, so to speak, dealing with family issues. So we're grateful to have her back live, and I won't be able to watch, unfortunately, Willow. I am going to, crazy as it sounds, I'm going to Back to the Future, the musical, tonight. So, yeah, right? I know not in a million years really think I'd be going to, I'm just wanting to see what they dance around with the flux capacitor, right? Or the, so yeah, it should be interesting. Back to the Future, that's like the movie of a lot of our generation, right? We'll probably quote that movie more than most. And so yeah, we'll to go to the enchantment under the sea dance. And yeah, so never know where your universe is going to take you. And tonight it's taking me to Back to the Future, the musical. So that should be fun. And just pick this guy up. $7. You want to ask your universe, tell your universe what you want, and then let it surprise you and watch what happens. Not that I'd normally buy a Gap hoodie, but I was at Sam's Club the other day. It was $7.50 on clearance. So I figure when a hoodie's less than a cup of coffee these days, or about the same price as a decent cup of coffee, or at least with a shot of espresso, right? Then yeah, you might as well buy it, right? So I've learned that. If you ask your universe, if you state your needs to your universe, like I said, I needed more hoodies, right? I'm a hoodie kind of guy. So I went to, when I went to Goodwill, I literally picked up a Puma hoodie, an Adidas hoodie, and a North Face hoodie. I couldn't ask for anything better. Even a $50 Adidas hoodie was in perfect condition, with the stripes right down. I say, if you ask your universe and allow it, wow, if you allow it to surprise you, watch what happens, folks. Because not in a million years did I think I would find a hoodie for $7.50, but if you allow for that. All right, so today we're going to work with it's going to be backwards, and I'm noticing a lot of YouTubers are now showing up backwards. It's not just me. A lot of the YouTubers that I watched, or used to watch, I don't watch a lot of tarot anymore, but they go live with tarot. Rich Lop was one. Rich Lop is one who's always live on tarot. He's backwards now. So yeah, it's not just me. It's an epidemic on the tube. If you're, so yeah, I'm going to use the Mind Info Oracle cards today, and that's what they look like. They're just a basic deck, but they were like $12 when I bought them on YouTube. And then we're going to work with, we have not yet today, blue kyanite. So for calm, peace, kyanite will eat some of your negative energies as well. And of course, we got this from where? Chloe's Crystals, at Chloe's Crystals or chloescrystals.com. Soon to be. If you want to help us build chloescrystals.com and you know how to build a website for business, a consumer website, a sales website, please let us know. Mr. Floyd Channelings with an S at gmail.com. Pardon me. Wake up in Colorado. It's always dry, right? It's like 10% humidity. And so I really need to run my humidifiers, and that would probably take care of a lot of that. So today we're going to ground into some energies as well. We're going to do some energetic recall as well. And so, yeah, we're going to douse the fire from the year of the dragon and start sliding around in the year of the snake as well. If you missed yesterday, there was really good channeling just on that, and got some really good channelings lately. Once I get a laptop that actually can function and not thermal out, then I'll be able to literally dice the chest. My goal would be to dice some of the channelings out of Good Dawning, right, and create those as separate videos as well. There's lots of good stuff there. It's just I don't. My laptop will thermal out if I try to start chopping around on the videos there. And it could take me quite some time. The first video I ever tried to do took me like 15 hours. And I didn't know I could do it through my phone or any of that, or CapCut or any of that. And so I literally spliced video to, it was crazy. And so eventually we will get it up and running there, but at some point we'll dice off the channelings. Not all of them, because there's hundreds now. But yeah, and as we roll into, I think 8 months, 9 months, I have to check that, but craziness. All right, so yeah, let's cut some cords. Oop, drop some cards here. Grab those. All right, guys, so let's, raining cards. All right, so let's cut some cords here, guys. And of course, we have our invocation, our mantra for today. And today's mantra is, I'm open to all possibilities when I let go of control. And I think today's whole show is going to be about control and turning things over and letting the universe versus things coming from you versus coming from outside of yourself versus everything really sourcing within yourself, including money, food, what have you. Everything that shows up in your frame is sourced directly from inside your loving, living self. So I am open to all the possibilities when I let go of control. When we're in control, we're in the small self. We're trying to create from a limited mindset. We're trying to create from 3D, and we are not pulling from our bigger, greater self, right? We're pulling from this smaller energy. We're not allowing for source to step in, where we're walling off possibilities from the angels and miracles. So when we are open to all possibilities, we want to let go of control. Don't touch, just don't touch my bacon. Help yourself. Nice. Now the question is it the fresh Ben? Is it fresh bacon bits like the ones you find in the bag at the grocery store? Is it like the bacon bits that you shake on top of a salad, like the artificial flavored bacon bits? I would imagine you're not the artificial flavored, but I thought about that. The first thing that came to mind was the shaker of bacon bits that you get like on top of a salad, like bacon bits. But I wouldn't want. You're the fresh chopped bacon, right? All right. So yeah, when you think about possibilities, are you letting control? Are you trying to control the outcome of the situation, your universe, or can you give it to higher source? Can you let go and let the universe? Once you know what you are looking for, the possibilities, can you let go and give it to your highest self and allow it to come in? That's the question, because a lot of us try to. Once we know what we want, we try really hard to hustle it up, right? And we're not in hustle culture anymore. The hustle, it's about letting things come into our frame by creating it from inside ourselves energetically versus trying to get out there and push it, right? The only hustle I'll do is DoorDash would be about the closest thing, because it's just guaranteed. It's like a guaranteed $50, but generally speaking. But all right, so let's cut the cards here. We're going to shuffle the cards real quick here as well and see what we get. But yeah, if you need a new hoodie, just tell it to your universe and let them surprise you. I'm not the biggest on the Gap hoodies, but for $7.50, I will buy it, right? Who wouldn't? All right. 1, 2, and 3. We're going to cut the cards and see what we got. All right, so we take the bottom card as the energetic of today. Take the top 3 as the how to get to that energetic. And of course, if you're wanting cards as well, please be sure to check out Chris the Volunteer. He's doing a daily card with Archangel Raphael. And so at Chris the Volunteer, we'll pull it up there. And you can check out his card with Gabrielle on the daily as well. And the Gabrielle as well is working on the mechanics of your universe and working through how to create your universe in a different way. But absolutely. So I highly recommend reading that card. Not the biggest for doing tons of YouTube tarot. There's like one tarot reader that I do watch that for sure. Winter Wolf, but otherwise, yeah, I don't do a lot of. But Chris, watch Chris. I'm fading on the tarot. There we go. All right, so today's card is Compassion. Laura is the only tarot I really want to watch. Laura B. Tuesdays with Tarot and Oracle. You can have your questions answered on the channel at 7 p.m. Compassion is what we're looking for today. You are being asked to be kinder to yourself and to give yourself a break. So you deserve a break today, right? Instead of being a taskmaster and a bully and a horrible friend, be a loving comforter who always has your back. So have compassion for yourself. A lot of us don't. We beat ourselves up when we make a mistake, or we say terrible things to ourselves, or we try to take control of our universe when we're trying to manifest, and then it doesn't show up, and we have no compassion for ourselves because we think well, I guess I can't bring that into my frame, or we think we're not worthy, right? Even worse, trying to want something, but then we have no compassion for ourselves, thinking we're not worthy of it, and then we never manifest it. So from your end there, yeah, compassion. And compassion also outside of yourself, compassion for others as well. We're going to get into that today. Favor to those in DC there, DCA. We're going to go into we'll do a quick, after we do the cards here, we'll do a quick moment of silence for those in the airplane here. Those in DC, favor. Comfort. So it's asking you to find comfort. If you have compassion, the two go together, right? There's 3 C's, right? Compassion, comfort, and caring, right? So if you have compassion, generally you are of comfort as well. So it's asking you to find that. It's not asking you to step into the role of being like a living nurse or something, like loving, right? Compassion, comfort. So how can you bring more comfort into your life? Comfort in the physical and comfort of yourself, emotionally into yourself as well. We don't comfort ourselves. We allow our emotions to run us over. And we're not compassionate with ourselves at all. And that is not a good place to be. When you guys get into a space, when anybody gets into a space, be it anxiety or what have you, I mean, we're all healing from these things, but they come back up, right? So when you get into that space, do you have compassion for yourself when you feel those emotions? Or do you beat yourself up? Or do you just start diving into why you shouldn't feel that way, this, that, or the other? Can you comfort yourself then when you get into those states as well? These are important things, guys, because if you are source, I mean, you have to have compassion for where you're at. This isn't create is the next card. So 3 C's. We're all going with the C's here today. So you've been asked to connect with your creative side. So it's asking to have compassion, find compassion for yourself, comfort yourself in yourself, and create. What are you creating? And have compassion for yourself if there's something that you want to create and you're not creating it. A lot of times we will get that bug to create, and it may be 6 months, a year, some people a decade before they get up and do it. But realize, and I'm going to state this as easy as I can, it's a lot easier to get up and create. The energy of creation is easier to do than holding up the energy of I'm not going to create and playing that in your head. I played that. I did one video on a channel called the Universal Army of Love, my website, right? And then I abandoned it. And then I lost, my phone broke, and I could probably recover the channel at this point. But either way, I did one video. It's lost to YouTube, right? Year later, here we are, right? So it took a year between that video and me putting something on my channel, on my regular channel, Mr. Floyd. So have compassion for yourself. If you want to create, you got to get through that energy block first. And so have compassion. All right. And then finally, it is a fresh start. Hey, what do you know? All right. You are being given the opportunity to begin again. Redo. So yeah, if you want to, a redo of your universe there. So today's compassion. So have compassion for yourself, for others, for those about in your universe, for things that aren't working. Can you live in a compassionate light, a compassionate manner? That's what it is. It's compassion for all things. Comforting yourself, finding comfort within your universe. A lot of us purposely live in a discomforted universe or an uncomfortable universe. We don't think we're worthy of comfort, so we live in discomfort. We don't treat ourselves with worthiness of comfort. Create. And it's asking you to create whatever it is you're looking to create. And of course, have compassion for yourself. If this is the first things you've created, I mean, before this, everything in your universe you've created. If you have a glass of tea, you've created that cup of tea. Pardon me. You've created that cup of tea. You manifested it. You had to go to the store and buy it. You had to make the tea. You had to boil the water, what have you. So everything in your universe is an act of creation. If you ate breakfast this morning, if you ate breakfast this morning other than like tea or toast, then you probably got bit by advertising because breakfast wasn't actually a thing. But nonetheless, if you ate a big breakfast this morning, then the guy who invented the guy from Premium Sausage, Swift, there was an advertisement campaign that created breakfast from Swift. But either way, have compassion for yourself in what you eat, what you do, what you say, and of course in everything you create in your universe. And a lot of us don't have compassion. We beat ourselves up when things go wrong. Whatever it is, you leave the house, you forget something, 20 minutes, you got to drive back. All of that entire 20 minutes, you're probably racing, cussing at yourself and whatnot. Not going to work. You're source. You are God walking on earth. Nothing more. So would you cuss God out? No, of course not. So, and you're not perfect either. So realize you're half human. You're coming from, you're programmed as a human, but you're God walking on earth, and you don't even realize you're God. So we beat ourselves up for all this stuff. We don't even know who we are half the time. It's just craziness. We live with a little more compassion in everything that we do, even for ourselves, and in every aspect of our universe and what we're trying to do or not do. May find things go a lot easier for ourselves. We beat ourselves up for the littlest of things, and my God, we don't come with instruction manuals or anything else. It's not like the greatest American hero, which is a Mandela effect, by the way. Used to be a red cape, now it's black, but that's a whole nother story. But yeah, he dropped the instruction manual, right? And so he didn't know how to use the suit, and so he'd fly around and smash in the walls with his red cape, not black. But nonetheless, are you Mandela affected? We'll do that. We'll do that one day. We'll do a whole Mandela show, right? Yeah, so we're going to work with the kyanite today. And if you know what happened last night, let's take a brief moment here and center down into the 3D, 5D world here and what physically is happening. And a lot of you guys are close to that area there. If you know what happened at DCA last night at Dulles, big favor to all of those involved last night. Let's take a quick moment and do a silent prayer. We're not going to do an invocation or anything. We're just a moment of silence. We'll bring it back up during the moment of peace and the group hug, the Josh hug. Thank you, Victor, at the end of the show here. But for the moment, take a moment, close your eyes, if you would, and let's just take a quick moment for all those in DC there, and the American Airlines, the PSA, the Canadair regional jet that decided that him in a Black Hawk favor. I used to be an air traffic controller, Black Hawks and such, and somebody right now is not having, some air traffic controller is having a terrible day. God favor to them, because if it was a mistake of controlling the physical helicopter and the air traffic controller made the mistake or did not notice, make the traffic call or what have you to the helicopter, then favor. He's just as liable. He's a legal liability at that point. That's why I never became an air traffic controller. I was an air traffic controller in the Army, is one thing, but I did not want the liability and the heaviness of the job, because if you make a mistake, then you create that, an error, what have you. Go to jail. Go directly to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. So it's a heavy job, and if you make a mistake, like could have happened last night, then you got to carry that for the rest of your life. If I make a mistake here, well, the phone will fall off the table, and that's about it. If I make a mistake at the crystal shop, that's a different. So no, it's a real. So let's take a moment here, guys, and give favor to all involved. We don't know if it was a controller error or if it was the pilot or what have you. But big favor. So we'll take a moment of silence for all those. So if you're joining us real quick, we're taking a moment of silence for all of those involved in last night's accident at the DCA at Dulles, and with the PSA Airlines, American Airlines. So favor, take a moment of silence, please. All right. And if you just joined, that was a moment of silence for all those who being excavated from the Potomac at the moment. Big favor to that. I remember back in 83 when the U.S. Airlines crashed. Is it 83, 84 when U.S. Airlines? I was watching Dukes of Hazzard when it happened. crashed into the Potomac. So Potomac has swallowed quite a few there, and it's a big favor to those. All right, so there we go. Kind of brings the energy down, to say the least, but we'll bring it back up here. So let's see. We're going to bring in somebody to channel here. Of course, we do group manifestations, and as well, let's quickly. I'm going to flip back here to our goals. First goal of 2025, we're going to check past that, or we're never going to get anywhere, right? So the first goal, drink more water. That was my first goal. If you're new here, we've created goals. We're not doing New Year's resolutions. They don't work. And of course, with the new year of the dragon ending and the year of the snake coming in as well. So we're going to ground as well into that as a new year and the real new year, right? We all know what calendar should be and is used and shouldn't be used. Leap year, leap second. We say no more. Which calendar should be used? The one that doesn't have a leap year, or the one that we have to jigger with every 4 years just to manage to keep it on track? What track is that, though? That's the question. All right, so are you drinking more water? So that's my first goal. Whatever your first goal was, go ahead and check that off. Hopefully you've completed that goal. If not, keep working to complete it. We did 4 basic first goals, right? Because we're building momentum into 2025 to see what we can create and how we can create it best. And so my next goal would be to, and I'm not going to announce my larger goals. Never want to, your basic goals you want to announce, right? Because if you want to drink more water and you're at work and you don't drink more water, then somebody at the, Fran, at the water cooler, right? Are you drinking your water? Maybe that's not a bad thing to have a accountability buddy, right? In that aspect. But when you get to your larger goals about what you want to create in your universe, especially in the year of the snake, you want to stay in the grass, right? Keep it below the grass. Keep it down on the ground until you're ready to pop your head up and show the universe what you're looking to create. Water is God. Water is everything on this planet. It is the flow. It is God. It is source life itself. Without water, this planet would be Mars, basically. Although even on Mars, there may be water on the poles at this point. Water knows everything. Just ask. Yes. I wouldn't doubt that one day, Krista, at Blindly Inspired, if you missed her yesterday, she was live at 10 a.m. Eastern, or 10 a.m. my time, noon Eastern. So, Krista, thank you for your live yesterday with PG. You can check that out at Blindly Inspired, and you can check her out. But yeah, I wouldn't doubt that one day, like they're doing a DNA, like DNA holds way more, like they could do organic memory or organic hard drives through DNA and whatnot, cellular structured hard drives. I wouldn't doubt that one day you'll have a waterborne hard drive as well. That water, because water holds so much information, and you don't think it does, but it does. And that one day your hard drive could be made out of water. Crazy, right? But quite possible. Definitely quite possible. So yeah. So my second mantra, or my second goal, was to sleep more. Drinking more water, sleeping more. I don't sleep well. I am a late night person. I can go to bed sometimes later. It's 4 a.m. Insane. I know, like Crazy Eddie. Insane. So yeah, we need to work on that. And so I'm trying to get into more of a pattern and going to bed by midnight at the latest in my universe, so that I get better sleep, so that I'm better functional, so that I'm better connected, all these things. And then, of course, my next goal would be to eat better. So are you working on your goals? Whatever that second goal is for you. First one was to drink more water, so I am doing so, but not enough yet that I can actually even go back on the zeolite, because the zeolite is incredibly dehydrating, and it'll remove the metals. This is college tested, and again, I am not a doctor. There are no, this is not a medical show, or am I giving medical advice? Just saying that zeolite is good to remove metals from your body. If you eat a lot of fish, it'll help with the mercury as well. And removing that, extracting that through your urine, but it'll make you pee a lot. And so I have to drink even more water than I thought in order to do the zeolite. So from your end, are you keeping up with your goals? And like the Joneses, right? You don't want to keep up with the Joneses, keep up with yourself. But yeah, so keep up with whatever that first goal is. You don't lose the goal and it's like, all right, I have drinking more water, so now I can go back to my dry fasting all day, right? No, I have to keep drinking more water, right? And of course, being at 5,000 feet, I have to drink extra water. I drink more water than you at 5,000 feet because I evaporate it faster. And you actually sweat more up here, but you don't realize it because it evaporates at 15% humidity. So yeah, so there we go. So hopefully you guys are working on your goals. I'm going to close out that first goal of drinking more water. And tomorrow we will see your second goal, right? My second goal will be to sleep more. So I will report if I am sleeping more and not throughout the day, right? Ha ha. But yeah. And so, yeah. Tonight, again, guys, don't forget, Rooted Willow will be live. She's going back on her universe. I think Adam is live at 7, and then Rooted Willow would be live at 8 o'clock. So you can do the YouTube shuffle there and go from Adam to Rooted Willow. I will be at the time Rooted Willow is live. I'll actually be eating dinner, most likely. I may pop into the chat and say hi for sure. But yeah, I'm going to Back to the Future, the musical. My ex, who's still we're friends, who was my mom 4 lifetimes ago. Crazy as it sounds. Look into I'm going to pause it right there. Look into your universe, right? If you really look into your universe and look around at the people in your universe, do realize that the people in your universe, who are the people in your neighborhood, right? Are those people that you are closest to are most likely people who have been other things in your life. It's crazy how this puzzle works. But once you wake up and realize that, that your brother could have been your father 2-3 lifetimes ago, or your current mother could have been your sister last lifetime, or that your best friend could have been your grandmother, right? You don't have no idea, but do keep in mind that it's all looped. And if you get an old past life regression session, or if you're open to that, you can see those things in your universe. It's like me at midnight waking up to the fact that my last girlfriend was my mother from 4 lifetimes ago, and then getting a download of the house that we lived in. So yeah, you can get those things as well. And do keep in mind that people in your life currently, your current husband, could easily have been your last father or your last mother, or your current wife could have been your last mom. You get it. And so if you slow down, really slow down, and start staring into your relationships, the people in your universe, in a different way, internally, and start seeing things from an internal, and asking your guides to show you what you need to see. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna give you the stare on that one, because things will happen. You could wake up very easily one day and be like, my husband was what? He's or my wife is what? And yeah, it's very, very most likely possible, actually, because we all kind of keep it in the loop, if you don't realize that or not. So all of us, a lot of us here even on this channel, may have known each other in the past. Your universe, while there's 8 billion souls on this planet, there is no randomness about any of that. Everybody's where they're meant to be, and where you are living is where you are meant to be. And you are most likely in some sort of locality where, or in some sort of closeness to people who were previous family members in your life. It's most likely the case. Like, your best friend could have been your mom. And a lot of times our best friends in our universe were actually our parents in other lifetimes. So that way, it's actually a good thing, because if you're taking that energy, and of course, most people, not everybody, and of course, but a lot of people, especially if you go backwards, had adversarial relationships with their parents, if you're dealing with unhealed trauma. So what a better way to help heal that trauma than to create your best friend as the trauma bond. You had a trauma bond with your mom, right? And then you create your best friend, becomes that mom, and she's now your best friend, but it's not your mom. In this lifetime, it's somebody else, but it's the same energy. So in a lot of ways, you can heal. You're actually put in positions where you can heal some of these traumas and these trauma bonds, like your mom, by having your best friend this lifetime be your mom, who was your mom last lifetime. That helps to heal those bonds. It's crazy how this works, but it's really the case in a lot of ways. Hey, Josh, we are soul family? I believe so. LO. I know we are somehow. Much love. But yeah, we're all family in some aspect. We wouldn't be sitting here together on this channel. Big Dad, Nathan, Laura, what have you, on Chloe, Henny, we wouldn't be sitting here together. We wouldn't have that energy to gel us together like we do. And then you see those bigger channels, like Lori Ladder, what have you. And in those energies, she's pulling in a lot of people she used to know. to say the least. And yeah, we all knew each other in some fashion. That's just how it works. You're not going to incarnate in any lifetime um, into some strange group of people or anything. Generally speaking, it's just the same people looping around in different costumes. It's kind of how it works. All right, let's bring in somebody. With somebody to channel here. And so we're going to be open here to see who comes through and see what we've got. But compassion for yourself is the big key today, and opening up, being open for the possibilities, but having that compassion, like the card said, for yourself. If we are all one with God, then we all are all each other. And he's figured it out. Exactly. We're just mirrors of each other. I am just you and you are, I am you and you are me, and we are all together. See how they run, like pigs from a gun. See how they fly, right? But no, seriously, we are all one. I mean, the energy of me is absolutely 100% zero different than the energy of Tina or Angela or Seeker of Truth of Shelly or Neil or Millie. It's the same physical energy. Source is source is source. The only difference is our programming. So you get dropped in. You take two babies. They're dead identical. The only difference is DNA, right? Their basic genetics are even going to be 99.999% the same. The only difference is the parental genetics that have been inherited by the babies. So if you take two babies and stick them right next to they're both completely the exact same blank slate. There's no difference between the blank chalkboard between baby number one and baby number two if they are immediately born. There may be a difference in trauma already, though. One child could have been spanked and found that to be more traumatic than another child when they were born. But if you take them on the flat, there is no trauma. They're both deadpan equal soul. There's no difference between the two. At that exact moment, there's no programming either, right? Neither child, other than what they got from the mom in the womb. But if we erase that, theoretically, at that moment, it's a fresh loaf of bread, right? There's no difference between that loaf of bread or another loaf of bread. As long as they're, white or rye, it doesn't matter. It's just color, right? You get it. So in that aspect, what's running that program, which is God, which is you, is exactly the same in both babies. There's no difference. And at that exact moment, there's no difference in the programming either. So each child is completely 100%, other than looks and maybe genetically, one might have a defect or something, completely the same. There's no difference at all. They both have equal opportunity from that moment, from the starting line of the incubator. Both babies are 100% the same. The only difference in how they show up 30 years, 40 years from now is the programming that starts from the day they leave that incubator, from that moment forward. And so it's the programming, what's shoved into the blank slate of that child, that creates the universe that's going to lead to the universe that they have. So you have one child that's told it's amazing, that it's God, that it's source, that it can create anything, that it's love, and it creates an amazing universe. And you have another child like my mother who says that, you're worthless, you're not worthy of anything, that nobody wants to speak to you, that you need to you're better off sitting in your room being quiet, nobody wants you around, blah, blah, blah. 100% of the time, you get a whole different universe. But fundamentally, nonetheless, those two children or those two adults are exactly the same. The adult that was programmed with awesomeness and God and knowing that it's source and that it creates everything and that it is the creator of its own awesome universe and it builds a beautiful life and has wonderful family. There's no difference between that person and the one where the mother's going, you suck, you're a loser, you're not worth it, and they end up homeless, jobless, and penniless, or they end up, with no friends or no wife, what have you, and no life, the rest of their universe, right? There's no difference between the two. It's literally the programming. That's how we are different, and that's it. But otherwise, we're exactly the same. There's no difference between me and Millie or anybody else, gender, but otherwise, the energy that runs us, the Energizer battery, the same pack of Energizer batteries we all have. We all have the same Energizer batteries. So it's about the program, having compassion. And that's why the compassion card, I love that. We have to have compassion for ourselves. We don't have control, but yet we do. And this is where it gets weird, of the programming that 1717. All right, 1717. Joanne's Sacred Scribes there, right? But we don't have control over the programming, but yet we do. We control the programming from before we were born. When we're sitting around with our council of elders, right? And we chose all this. So we decide with our council of elders, I am going to have a karmic parent. We choose that programming from a clear space when we're not programmed, right? So once you're out of this meat suit, you're no longer programmed. You're back in your source space. The ego drops away. It doesn't exist. That's why your ego isn't real. It's just an energy that's allowing you to stay grounded to this planet. And if you don't have an ego, then you have to be able to at least fend for yourself and have some sort of physical oof. And if you didn't have that, then you wouldn't have as much oof for your physical body. You'd just be source. And you may not protect your body as much, and you may not be as you would be as probably more loving to your body. But yeah, so it's compassion. It's all about compassion, and that card is spot on. All right, let's see who comes through here. We're going to do a channeling here and see who we get. Good dawning and welcome. We are Saint Germain and no more Archangel Raphael. We are here channeling. He's here, but he's his own, right? We are channeling to Josh for you, to you this good dawning. And we are grateful for you being here. And if you are new here, this is a channeling show. Josh is a channeler, right? He is channeling Saint Germain as we speak. So you are seeing channeling in action. He's an open channeler. So you are going to see his eyes open. You could see he could reach out for the soda light pillar. He has control over his actions as well as Saint Germain does, right? And so we are together channeling for you, to you today, and we say generally the same thing all the time, right? So we are grateful. Compassion is a good subject for today. Are you compassionate with yourself, right? Welcome to the year of the snake. So don't be a snake in anybody else's grass, right? We are asking you to have compassion in 2025. And in the year of the snake, be compassionate to yourself. Don't beat yourselves up. We're going to talk about that because a lot of you do not hold compassion for yourself. Remember, as Josh said, you are here on planet Earth. There is no instruction manual. You could read Dr. Spock, but what does he know better than anybody else, per se? He just thinks he knows, right? You could read other books, other psychologists and whatnot, but really you know everything you need to know inside yourself. There are great books out there. If you want to get a good book, go get Mel, right? Mel Robbins. Let them. If you are sitting around getting frustrated about people in your universe, go read Let Them by Mel Robbins. You will come out going, let them do whatever the heck they want. It is not my business, right? But nonetheless, from your universe there, are you living in a compassionate manner for yourself? We aren't even stepping about compassion for the planet or for others or for those who are on the airline that in Dulles there, right? You have to have compassion for them, right? They did not know that was going to happen. They may have signed up for that. These are things that you have to think about in your universe, right? If you are boarding an aircraft, right, and the aircraft does not make its destination, it makes a different destination, sadly, whatever it is. We do not know if that was contracted or not by those souls. You have to understand that. Most likely, it could have been, but we don't know. So you have to see that. Hold compassion for the situation, compassion for those who are on the airplane, and compassion for the families, all of the families involved. But when we are sitting on planet Earth, there are really no randomnesses, right? Everything is generally set up, right? You are setting up your universe. You create what you want before you come to Earth. You sit down with your council of elders, right? So who's to say they did not sit down with their council of elders and say, I'm going to go in a fiery plane crash, right? We do not know these things. Nobody knows these things except those individual souls and their council of elders themselves, right? So from your universe, hold that with passion, compassion, right? Ooh, favor to those who have. But again, at the same time, we do not know what a soul is contracted for. So you see a murder, right? And somebody gets murdered, right? On the street, just randomly, just like Bob was shot, poof, he drops down, and the murderer just walks on, and Bob is laying on the ground. We do not know if Bob and the murderer made contract, right? Compassion. Made contract to be killed, right? Josh made contract to be shot, right? So in his last lifetime, he had past life regression session, so he knows this. So it's as clear as day to him. He robbed a bank in San Francisco, right? In 1968, 69. We're not sure the year. But nonetheless, he robbed the bank and then got shot in the back by the police officer. Died, right? Now he is sitting here. Otherwise, he would be like 70-something years old right now, right? He was like 19 years old. Hippie, right? So then he was sitting there, dead at 68, right? So he came back, and now he is sitting here writing the ascension timeline. You do not know why anybody exits earlier. For Josh, he would have been 70-something years old right now, and he would not be part of the ascension timeline. He'd be on the back end closing it out, right? Now he is sitting here for you. He is channeling Saint Germain for you through him, right? And so the contract that he had with the police officer to be shot after failing to rob a bank, he was never intending to take any money. He was intending to get killed, right? So in that aspect, but he did not know that. Josh, in his previous lifetime, he was Hispanic, but did not know that he was going to be shot, right? He just robbed the bank. Did not know that that was part of his soul contract to rob the bank, right? The energy came through to rob the bank, came from his higher self. He set that up. There's nothing wrong with setting up things like that in your future if it's going to lead to a better universe. Yes, robbing a bank, bad karmic idea, right? But he was doing it with good intentions. He walked in, gave him the note, acted like he was fumbling around, and then ran out. The cop shot him on the street. He acted like he was going to shoot the cop. The cop shot him. Boom. Now he is sitting here. Josh had 3 years. When he died, he came right back to planet Earth, right? That is the point. You do not know anybody's soul contract. You do not know why the plane crashed, and you do not know what those souls had contracted. Yes, we can see it as a tragic accident. But again, though, if you are understanding how this really works, right? How the 3D matrix field truly works, there are no accidents, right? There are no coincidences, and there are no hints and allegations either. So if you are sitting there, we're song lyrics, right? But if you are, name that tune, right? But if you are sitting here and understanding that you hold the compassion that maybe those souls, maybe, we do not know. There are accidents, of course. There are souls that board the plane. Who's the soul that did not board the plane? That is the question. There were 60 on board, but we always know there is that one who has the intuition, right? And is sitting at home right now, mind blown that they did not fly on that airplane in Wichita right now, right? They are sitting in Kansas going, oh gosh, we guess we are in Kansas now, Toto. Oh, grateful. So keep all of that in mind. Live with compassion. See the universe in a compassionate way. Treat others with the love that you would want from yourself. And then you are living in compassion, right? Have a compassionate heart. We do not know anybody's circumstances, whether they are creating them. Generally, they've created them based out of energetics, right? But whether they are contracted for those energies or they have circumstantially created it for themselves, we don't know. We don't know if those who are on the aeroplane last night, the Canadair regional jet, that Josh used to work on Canadair regional jets for Calm Airlines, but Calm Air is no longer in business. But nonetheless, the jet that crashed, right? We do not know if those souls had a higher contract or not. All we do is hold the compassion. We see the families getting together with love. We appreciate that the CEO came on and said that he was with love with the family, and he was crying and sad. And so we see all of that, and we hold that energy, and we hold the compassion for the entire situation. But again, we do not truly know, and that's the thing on your universe. Whenever something happens, you do not truly know. You only know the 3D version. You do not know really what is going on. You do not know really the energetics of what is happening. All you are seeing is the 3D version of that. You are not seeing the energetics behind all of that. Everything you see on your planet, everything that is going on, is an energetic play. There's two levels to what... Ooh, Josh is burping. To what is going on. Energetics, right? Yeah, there we go. Pardon, Josh. So there are two levels to what is going on when you are looking out in your universe. You are seeing the solid level, right? What you see in front of you, you are seeing the people. But there's the energetic level, the movement of energy behind everything that you are seeing. So we do not know from the aspect of those on the airplane or the helicopter, for that matter, the Black Hawk that definitely went down, right? The Black Hawk Down. You've seen that movie, right? So nonetheless, we do not know if that pilot there, if he was, what his thoughts were or weren't, or her thoughts. We do not know if it's male or female, right? But nonetheless, it was a human, and that's all that really matters, is that they were being, and that is for sure. But we did not know, was that on accident or on purpose, or what was the circumstances? And if it wasn't on purpose sort of deal, again, we do not know if there was a subliminal, behind the scenes, right? Energetic, you would say subliminal or underground, under the energies, right? A soul contract for all of these souls, right? You do not know what is going on. And we do not know if those souls volunteered, right, to show us something even greater, right? Maybe aviation safety, so thousands of people will be saved in the future. You have no idea what to really. All we do is hold compassion. That's all we can do as loving living beings. If we do anything else, we are framing the universe for them, then we don't know. So we have to hold that compassion for those in that situation, but we don't know the true energetics of that. You may not even know some of the true energetics in your universe, why things are happening. You may have contracted for that. And do keep in mind that when greater events happen in your universe, right? We are not talking about what you are choosing if you are eating at Taco Bell in favor if you have $10 and you are eating at Taco Bell. But favor to that. You will fill your belly with the $10 or you will be comically, you will feel that you are not have enough. But we've gone down that road, right? But nonetheless, you are standing there at Taco Bell and you fill your belly with the $10. Compassion, right? Have compassion for yourself that you are eating Taco Bell, right? All right. So you are an understanding. It's about compassion on this planet and having the love for each other. And we don't know the greater play that is going on. We only see the surface of it, right? So from we are seeing the surface level. We are not reading the code in the matrix, so to speak. Like, right? We are not sitting on the ship reading the code. So from your end, just hold compassion. We do not know what is happening in your universe there. Keep in mind, everybody that you are looking at could be somebody that you have looked at in a previous life as well. So keep all of that in mind. Your children could have been your parents, and your parents could have been your children. It's all flipped up and around and backwards. And you never know, but you each play different roles. So you learn from each other too. You only realize that once you are snap, crackle, and pop out of your frame, right? Once you show up in the etheric field after you have lived on planet Earth, you will be like, oh, wait a minute. Bobby at the water cooler was my best friend from last lifetime, and he is here now just to teach me this lesson. And this person was here to teach me that. You will see the contracts. It'll all unscroll for you at some point once you pass into the ethereal. So keep all that in mind. Have compassion for each other. Have compassion for those who have perished, and we do not really know why other than the plane has crashed, right? We are not in their contracts. We just send love, right? That's all we can do. We do not know anything else. If there was an accident or something, of course. In the 3D realm, you want to work to correct that. But again, maybe it wasn't an accident. It could have been a demonstration to show in the future, you fix this or you get an even bigger accident. Lots of things could happen that way. We don't know anything. We are just grateful. Are you? We are Saint Germain, no Archangel Raphael, and we have channeled to Josh for you. Find the compassion in your heart. When you run into somebody in their universe, if they are homeless or what have you, have compassion. They may be contracted themselves to be homeless. Like, I'm going to create myself to be homeless so that I learn, right? It's all about learning. So see that as well, but have compassion. See them. They do not know. So lots of nobody knows. We do not know. If you are on Earth there, truly, we do not know our soul contracts all the way through. So those on the airplane did not know that the plane was going to crash, most likely in the physical, but they may have in the energetically known that. Those who are homeless in your universe, you see somebody who is homeless, they may have contracted in the ethereal when they are sitting with their council of elders. I want to be homeless to experience climbing out of homelessness, so I feel the amazement of that, right? As a challenge, but nonetheless, we do not know that. So treat them with compassion, have a compassionate heart. That's what we are saying today. I love you. Saint Germain loves you, right? Love yourselves. Releasing transmission. All right, compassion and heart. Thank you, Saint Germain. So can you have a compassionate heart and realize that we don't see those bigger contracts in our universe. We don't know any of what's really going. What we really know is about yay yonder big, right? My motto is I don't know anything and I'm just grateful. And if I ground into something like that, I don't know anything, and I really don't. What I know you could fit on. I'll say what I know I could fit on the head of a pin, but I'm grateful. I'm just grateful. And once you start living in that way, you find the compassion is easy. You find that we don't know anything. We really don't. I'm just living from a compassionate, grateful life. I don't know. Let's work with the kyanite. All right, so blue kyanite. Krista loves blue kyanite. It's really good for meditation. So if you have blue kyanite and you're holding it when you meditate, it's really good. It does not absorb any negative energies. It's incredibly calming. It works well with the root and sacral chakras, and of course your crown chakra as well. So all kinds of different things. Today, I'm going to let you ground your intention for the blue kyanite. So you choose how this kyanite is going to help you But of course, always with kyanite, calming for sure. Kyanite is one of the more calming stones since it does not hold any racy energetics and it does not need to be cleansed. It cleanses, it's a self-cleansing stone, right? So let's work with the kyanite. We're going to work, it does have a point right here, so it's legit. If you can see that, there is a physical point. So as long as there's a point, we can direct energy. And so we will direct energy with the blue kyanite. Kyanite also does get little rust spots on it as well because it had to sit outside at some point, right? So it's got, that's why you want to keep your kyanite out of the water. That's so when it like rain, rust spots. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and work with the kyanite. Also be careful holding kyanite. Kyanite, if you look at it, it's blades, it's flaky. There you go. So it can flake off and pieces of it can fall off. So you have to be careful on how you hold it. And if you look here, it can grow in so many different ways. We could do that too at the point, but sticking up. So yeah, it's kind of a unique stone. All right, so let's work with the kyanite and find some. Today we're going to use compassion. So if nothing else, see compassion in the stone, in yourself, and ground into compassion. But otherwise, if there's anything you're looking to clear, kyanite will help with that because it doesn't hold the energetic. So whatever you're looking to clear, wherever you are in your universe, ground into it, into the kyanite, and we shall go. Energetics works best with your permission. So by staying on the show, thumbs up or what have you, you are with us. And if you want to drop off, understandable if you don't want the energetics. First time we've worked with the kyanite, I never thought to use it until this morning, this dawning. All right. It's kind of heavy too. All right, and the kyanite, of course, came from Chloe at Chloe's Crystals. If you missed it yesterday, definitely check out Krista and PG. They went live. Tonight is Rooted Willow, and Willow, I love you, but apologize. I'll pop into the chat, but I will be out and about, which I'm grateful. All right, you should be feeling this. Hopefully, you're feeling this in your root chakra, your sacral chakra. As well, you may feel this in your crown chakra. And I'm going to open the floor up. If you have suggestions for the show, changes for this show, things that you might want to see on this show, ways that I could possibly, that you could see that I could change up this show. I'm open to suggestions. I'm not saying that it seems stale or any of the sort. See, kyanite. There's a piece of it. It flakes off, so you got to be really careful. You don't want to manhandle. You don't want to handle your kyanite in a anything other than a really delicate manner. There we go. But yeah, if you have suggestions for the show, please email me at mrfloydchannelings@gmail.com. If you want to be on the show, and Lindsay, if you heard Lindsay sing, right? She's amazing. So I'm going to call. If you've watched Lindsay's lives there, she does really peaceful singing at the end of her show. So Lindsay, I'm going to send you an email. If you would like to sing on Good Dawning there, that would be blessed. But if you have any talent or anything you want to do on the show, send me an email. If you have anything you want to see on the show or see any changes that would work or have any ideas, send me an email, please. I would be grateful. If you need a one-on-one session or if you would like a one-on-one energetic attunement session with Archangel Raphael, Saint Germain, Goddess Isis, Kuan Yin, White Buffalo Calf, Woman, Sekhmet, and more, email me and we can discuss. I'd be grateful. All right, guys. As we finish this off here, don't forget to check out Chris's card on the daily. I will probably post Kuan Yin. Yesterday was Isis. I'm just doing whichever one comes to heart and time as well. But either one, we'll get Isis or Kuan Yin on the daily. All right. And of course, check out Millie's posts there. She's doing posts on magic, the days of the week and whatnot. Today being Thor's day. Yesterday she did the new moon. Or the new moon. So check out her community page, please. I have a raw chunk of lapis and another of turquoise. Number 500. I need a piece of lapis. I don't have any lapis in this house. Turquoise is great. If you have turquoise, keep it in your living room for abundance and to bring in the sun, so to speak. All right, we're going to seal this off. It is getting heavy. One thing when you want to work with stones, make sure that the pillars and whatnot aren't heavy. This guy's probably about 5 pounds, 4 pounds. Do some hand energetics. All right. Perfect. All right, we're going to close this off here with a group hug. A Josh hug, as Victor would say. Blessed. And Truth Wave, 9:45 in the dawning, 9:45 in the evening. I probably won't be there either tonight, because I'll be at the Back to the Future the musical. Crazy, right? And you make back in the day, would you have thought in a million years you're going to Back to the Future and it's 1985 and you're like, this would be a great musical? Not in a million years. I'm just curious to dance for the dancing around with the flux capacitor dancers, right? This is going to be weird, but so I will be at the music. Yeah, you never know where your universe takes you. But yeah, grateful. So Willow, have an amazing stream. I will jump into the live there and say hi. And of course, Adam will be on live before Rooted Willow at 7 p.m. And then Willow is live at 8 p.m. And Willow, I will send you an email because yes, we started working together and then favor. And then, so yeah, I would love to work with you again. And absolutely, I know way more about crystals than I did back in September there. So absolutely. All right, guys. So group hug here. We'll take a deep breath here. We'll center down real quick. As we breathe in, we're going to breathe in we're going to breathe in compassion, and we're going to release any energy that is not full of compassion. Anything that's frustrating us, anything that's heavy, any energetic of annoyance or whatnot. Just anything that's not giving us we're just going to throw it out of our frame. I think there is a lapis. Oh, save her. Oh, thank you. Blessings, guys. You guys are all a blessing. And change, right? You guys want to create change. It's doable. I didn't do anything. This all happened sitting on my Hillary Duff in my apartment. So I don't know anything. I'm just grateful. That's why. What it boils down to, and if you want to get centered real fast, RJ Spina will tell you he does something to the same effect. If you want to get centered faster than a speeding bullet and be more powerful than a locomotive, right? Just when you're ungrounded, I don't know anything. I'm just grateful. So, instant centering within a second. All right. Group hug. Let's take some breaths. As we breathe in compassion. We breathe out anything that is holding us from compassion, any frustrating, angry, annoying energies. So we breathe in for 4 seconds. And of course, don't forget, guys, and I haven't mentioned it in a few days, peace. Are you asking for peace in your universe? Tomorrow, we're going to close out the week with peace. We're going to make the show about peace. But are you finding peace in your universe? And remember, when you get out there meaning outside of your house, what you do in your house, when we are in a house, we can fall in the darker end, but we're working through stuff. But when we're out in the universe, we want to try to be as light. We are the light. We're that light that everybody else can ground off of. That's why we're like that torch walking through. Like if you're walking through a grocery store, you're probably one of the brightest bulbs in the grocery store, right? And so as you walk through that aisle, it's your light that's bringing that energy to others in the grocery store. It's not when people are yelling at each other on one end, or somebody's sitting there scratching their head that they can't afford this or that. It's our breezy, easy light that walks through there and raises the vibration of the frozen aisle there, where everybody's trying to figure out the low vibration foods they're going to buy, right? And so maybe they don't buy those mozzarella cheese sticks because you walk through with a higher vibration, and then they decide not to. But if you're sitting in a bad space and a heavier energy, and you walk through without compassion and without anything in your heart, in the heavier energy, you may not be that light that vibrates them up just enough to go, ooh, mozzarella sticks aren't the best for me. and they buy them anyway. So keep that all in mind there. We hold a job on this planet, and it's so if you see that when you're walking through your universe, because at home we can be whatever we choose. We're by ourselves, we're with our family, and it's a different energy, or you're not, it's contained within the home. But when you're out and about, you are source, you are God walking on this planet, and it is our responsibility then to do that with a compassionate attitude, and to do that with the highest light possible. Like we said there, if we walk through that frozen aisle, we could be the energy that stops the fight. We could be the energy that stops somebody from buying the crustables, the frozen crustables, or whatever junk you're going to buy, the cheese sticks or mozzarella cheese sticks, or the fried mushrooms, or whatever, White Castle's burgers, whatever processed stuff that you're going to end up buying in the frozen section there. So all it takes is just that little vibration, and then they pick it up, and they're like, they vibrate up just enough to see those cheese sticks is something that's not really good for them, artery clogging and whatnot, and they step past it and get something healthier instead. That's how these things work. It's all interconnected. And so hold that compassion in yourself, in your frame, and in your universe as you walk out today, in everything that you do. And if you see somebody doing something karmic, or you see something sad, hold that compassion. We do not know what their contract was. You do not know if somebody standing outside of the grocery store flying a sign contracted to live that universe so that they could learn to climb out of that and find out that they can create as source. We don't know any of it. It's our job just to have compassion for it. All right, guys, let's hold forward here. Group hug, so breathe in. And again, when we breathe in compassion. We breathe out anything that's heavy, negative, those heavy energies that take us away from our compassionate self. Our judgmental self is usually the biggest thing that takes us away from our compassionate self. And if you're judgmental, then you're an ego, and you are not living as source, because source is all. It doesn't judge anything because it's all source. All right, breathe in. Hold it for 4 seconds and breathe out. Breathe in. Yes, absolutely. I don't disagree, Millie. Sometimes you need a White Castle because it's what you crave, right? I get it. But what we're saying is a lot of times we're standing in the grocery store looking at those frozen things because we're in a lower vibrational state. And so we're upset, angry, depressed, what have you. So we start eating lower vibrational foods. And that's not just, ooh, I just crave a White Castle because I'm on planet Earth. Of course, you're allowed to. So we go back to the beer, right? Saint Germain saying if you're at a party and you drink one beer, you're not going to die. It's not going to kill you. You're going to be part of the party. And that's it. So yeah, eat a White Castle. It's not going to kill you. It's eating the crave case that'll kill you. Or eating White Castle 6 times a week, or 80 times, 10 times in a month. That's what yeah, you're on planet Earth. Live on planet Earth. Do those things. You go to a wedding, join in the champagne toast. Just don't drink the bottle of champagne, right? If you're hanging out with friends and it's 420 and you don't care, and you 420 and just don't smoke the bong, but just take a hit. I mean, it's not going to kill you. None of these things will. We hear these. I'm going to rant here real quick. We hear all these readers, and you have to have the purest water. No, you don't. You have to have the cleanest food. No, you don't. You have to have the freshest air. Horse hockey. You know what you have to have is the best intentions. You have to have the best grounding of yourself. You have to have the best love for yourself. Doesn't matter if it's the best water. Nobody's going to have the best water. What's the best water anyway? Cleanest food. What's the cleanest food on this planet? Everything has microplastics. And so it's a matter of what you put into it and the energy around it. You can sit here and chase all of that. I have to go to the top of the mountain and find, no, they found that there's microplastics on the snow at the top of the mountain. Just as much microplastics as there is in the water, in the ocean. So it doesn't matter. That's what we're getting at here. Yeah, you want to make sure you're not drinking fluoride. You want to make sure it's non-GMO. But otherwise, the cleanest, what is the cleanest food, or the shiniest, the greenest greens, or the cleanest, purest white? There is none of that. It's what you're in. I intend for this water to cleanse me. I intend for this food to nourish me. As long as it's not GMO, and even if it is, then you can just transmute it with the violet flame. If you're stuck eating GMO once in a blue moon, it's still not going to kill you. You are not that fragile that you. So we look for these things. Keep that in mind, guys. A lot of channels and stuff with the pure, and there's one that I'm kind of making fun of. The purest water, and the greenest of greens, and the organicest clothes. You think this Gap sweatshirt's organic? Oh, hell no. But it was $7, and you know what? I needed a new hoodie, and it's keeping me warm. So there we go. That's what it's all about. I may have wanted to get the blue one instead. Hindsight being 2020 isn't my best color. The blue one would have looked better on me. So there we go. I could go that way. But otherwise, no, it's a $7 sweatshirt. The fact that it may not be organic Pima cotton doesn't matter. I got a sweat. I asked the universe for a hoodie, and it gave me one. It's $7. So see those things, guys. Have compassion for yourself. Hold that compassion in your heart. But don't try to be all karmic about the cleanest water or the purest this or any of that, because there's nothing pure driven snow on this planet anymore. We've trashed the hell out of this planet, and everything has PFAs and everything has plastic, and it is what it is. And if you're eating it out of any container, anything that you buy, unless you're physically taking the cucumber or the zucchini out of the store, carrying it by hand, setting it in your car, but once you set it on the seat of the car, it's going to pick up contaminants. So nothing's perfect. Everything has microplastics. You're going to put it in a plastic bag, and so when we see these things, it's all about having compassion for yourself. Yeah, I don't know, but don't worry so much. We're on planet Earth. Eat ice cream, live. It's all about having fun and seeing it energetically. I'm not saying to go out there and if it's you keep your eyes on packages, of course. If it's bioengineered, and there's a lot of foods now that say bioengineered, run, forest. But otherwise, yeah, you'll be fine, guys. We will. We hold these things like we have to have the purest universe and the pure. No, we don't. Not at all. Not at all. It's about compassion and gratitude. It's about the energies more than anything else. All right, butternut squash. That's my favorite. I love butternut squash soup. But keep in mind, if you go to buy like butternut squash soup in a box, first off, the box is going to have PFAS. Here's what starts to get you, right? All right, anything out of a box or a coffee cup, right? Well, how do you think the box doesn't leak? PFAS, right? Unfortunately, the inside lining of the box is just PFAS. So you're eating that. Then if you look at the ingredients, it's all canola oil. But again, so you make your own butternut squash soup, or you eat it and realize, I just wanted to, and I don't care. Don't hold it so much. Just eat it and live. But yeah, you want to try to avoid those things as best as possible. But it's kind of everywhere. Alcohol. But the problem with alcohol, Karen, is that it opens the door to spirits. Yes, a glass of wine will not let you get spirited away. If you're at a party and the host is like hands you a champagne for a toast, drink the champagne. It's not going to kill you. If you had 3 bottles or 3 glasses of champagne, then you're opening yourselves up vibrationally for spirits. After a certain point, you do kick down that door. You lower your blood alcohol. Your blood gets thinner. You vibrate a lot slower. And then eventually, yes. But the one won't do anything other than allow you to be in alignment with everybody else at the party instead of being that odd man out, because you think, a lot of people think that you think you're better than, well, I'm not going to have just one drink. I don't even have one sip. We don't need to be that pure. We put ourselves on an impure planet. If we needed to be that pure, then we would be like John Travolta, like the boy in the bubble, right? Remember that movie, like 79? He was running around he had to live in a bubble because he had no immune system. The boy in the bubble. It was one of those. Remember the Saturday night? Was it Saturday night movie, or was it the Sunday night? The ABC Sunday night movie. So yeah. All right, this is gonna go on forever here. So all right, let's go ahead and close this out. We're gonna do a quick Josh hug. Thank you, Victor. I love that group hug here. And energetics works through the internet. If you watch Michael and Beyond, or anybody who does energetics online, you feel it when we do the right. So group hug, same thing. So lean forward, arm to the left, everybody on each shoulder here. We lean forward, take another breath in, breathe out. All right. Thank you all. Welcome to this group hug. Thank you all for being here today. We are grateful for all of you being here. We are grateful today to see Willow coming back online, and favor to her mom and stepdad, favor to the health of her family there. We are grateful, Willow, and love you, and are looking forward to seeing your live, and in my case, the replay of your live, either way. We are grateful for all of you being here, and we are holding compassion and love for all of those involved in the airline crash at DCA, at Dulles, and the PSA Airlines, American Airlines. Favor and love to all of those. May their families find solace And may they find unity in their loss. May there be reasonings. May they find the reasonings. And may love and compassion guide everybody in that situation. Favor to the pilot of the helicopter who made that fatal error there, and favor to their family who's going to favor to their family. Favor to their spouse if they have one as well. We send love to everybody on planet Earth who is having housing insecurities. We send love and favor to everybody who's having food insecurities. We send love and favor to everybody who is having water insecurities, who does not have anywhere near fresh water or is drinking dirty water. We send love to everybody. May they find clean water, may they find housing, and may they find themselves with full bellies. May those without love on planet Earth find the hug that they are looking for. May those without family on Earth find friends as a replacement. May those out there struggling to find themselves find that they are the source love that they have been looking for and step into their frame as that. May the governments of the world unite in the love for humanity. May the armies of the world put down their weapons and hug each other. And may those who hold the 1%, who hold the 90% of all the monies on planet Earth, see how they can be of love and help others. We hold planet Earth up in the violet flame and cleanse the Earth from its PFAs and forever chemicals and plastics with the violet flame. We cleanse the water with the violet flame. And we see each other eating the cleanest possible food, but not getting karmic about it if it's not. We see each other with full bellies, and we see each other with full bank accounts, and we see each other with full lives. We see each other helping each other, and we see Chloe's crystals online. We see Rick healed, and we see Lindsay hugging her children. And we see each other lifting each other up. We see this planet with compassion and love. For our highest love and joy, so it be. Hallelujah. All right, guys. Thank you so much. The show kind of ran. Thank you guys so much. Grateful for all of you. And tonight, make sure 7 o'clock is Adam. It's Eastern time. I don't know what he's doing. If you missed Jared's Fire Homa, that is available on the community page. He's back in Denver. I have to send him a message. And so favor to all of you guys. Remember, everything that we do creates our universe. And if we're not there, if we're still in our dark night of the soul, as we release the darkness into the light, our cells vibrate faster. We drop all of our old story because we give it to our highest self. So we are lighter. We remove all of our barriers from creating because we know that we are sourcing the creative source of our universe. And as we step into that light, the light steps into us and we start creating our loving, living universe. All right, guys, I love you all so much. Grateful for all of you. And check out Willow tonight. If Willow does Rooted Willow, at Rooted Willow, but if I'll go to her page there, and if there's her pre-live, her link, I will put it on the community page. So you can always go there as well to the community tab and tag it as well. And otherwise, Adam at 7. And I will drop Kuan Yin shortly as well. Much love and favor to everybody. Remember, compassion is the key. Really, it's the key to everything. If we live with a compassionate heart, everything shifts. Stay awesome, guys. Love you. See you all in the next. Thank you.